What if the fate of the next Lakers dynasty hinges not on the flash of a single superstar or the roar of the crowd, but on a silent chess move behind the scenes and underground ripple shaking the very foundation of how this team reshapes its future? Could it be that the signing of one man, signed quietly yet officially, has flipped the entire script, altering not just a roster spot, but the intricate dance of draft assets, trade talks, and strategic gambits that keep this franchise's hopes alive? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truth meets purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss a second of this drama. Because what we're witnessing right now isn't just a signing. It's a seismic shift that can either salvage this roster's championship window or leave the team scrambling in a brutal game of asset management and risk. So, let's peel it back. The Lakers have half officially, yet undeniably, brought Adri Ayton into the fold. I know the words "this changes everything" get tossed around, but I'm dead serious here. With Ayton now locked in as their starting center, everything they thought they needed has warped. No longer are they desperate for a starting big man in the trade or free agent markets. The Lakers have strength at the rim, a true traditional center who gives them physicality, rebounding, rim protection, and the most vital element, trade leverage. Because now, instead of burning through irreplaceable draft capital to chase a starting center, they only need a backup center, a role that requires far less investment, less risk, and hopefully less heartbreak. Remember the nights when the Lakers clung to rumors from the Walker Kessler or Nick Claxton camps, praying for a miracle starting center. Those days might just be fading, and with them, a desperate hunger that often forces bad deals. That leaves the front office with a complex treasure trove to play with, a vast array of trade chips, including a 2031 first-round pick for future first-round swap rights, a 2030 to second-rounder, and a lineup of expiring contracts like Rui Hachimura's $18 million, Gabe Vincent's $11 million, Maxi Kleber's $11 million, plus Shake Milton's $3 million non-guaranteed contract. Add to that the young talents like Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell, and the biannual exception slot worth roughly $5.1 million. And suddenly the Lakers have breathing room, a luxury in today's NBA cap landscape, which means they can pursue this backup center from either end, free agency or trade, and according to reports, they're pushing hard on both fronts, especially in the relentless hunt for reliability and durability behind Ayton. Leading the chase is Al Horford, a name clawing his way back into the spotlight. The 39-year-old, longest veteran in the league, is still a threat, averaging 9 points, 6 points boards, and nearly a block a game last season, while firing deep from beyond the arc at 36.3% on over 5 attempts per game. The man has been one of the most dependable shooting bigs for over a decade, a floor-spacing defensive stalwart who brings veteran and championship experience that no locker room can overlook. The Lakers are not alone in this pursuit. Golden State's also circling, gearing up for what I expect to be an intense bidding war. But can the Lakers get it done with their biannual exception? Despite some fan confusion, yes, they have access to that roughly $5.1 million slot, and currently sit about $5.5 million below the first apron, meaning they can extend this offer while staying cap compliant. It's a narrow window, a tightrope walk of financial finesse, but it's feasible. Pairing Horford's crafty veteran savvy, shooting range, and defensive mobility with Ayton's lob threat, physical rim presence, and rebounding creates a front court that's both versatile and match-proof. The traditional big man bruising meets modern spacing wizardry, an enchanted blend any playoff team would envy. This duo could neutralize almost any opponent's plan, free switching, protecting the rim, and stretching the floor. Some might grumble about Horford's age or adaptability at 39, but experience could be the difference between fleeting playoff appearances and legacy-defining runs. I'm standing here nodding yes to this pairing and hopeful the Lakers pull it off. But the free agent market beyond Horford is a barren wasteland, barring one other who merits mention: Chris Boshar. Much like Horford, not a pure center, but capable of providing solid rim protection, decent rebounding, and a versatile defensive presence, with offensive tools that include three-point shooting and ball handling skills unusual for a big. Boshar brings a different flavor of versatility, perhaps a mid-level alternative if Horford slips away or money tightens. He can adapt, switch, and even create, adding depth behind Ayton. But beyond these two, options dry up fast, pushing the Lakers deeper into the trade waters where possibilities swirl shadowy and uncertain. Trade discussions, per sources like Brett Siegel of Clutch Points and Dave McMenamin of ESPN, have been heating up with multiple teams: Phoenix Suns, New Orleans Pelicans, Portland Trail Blazers, and Orlando Magic, all reportedly involved in talks surrounding centers. Names like Nick Richards, Rob Williams III, Ime Bekwai, Wendell Carter Jr., and Goga Bitadze have surfaced, each casting a different kind of light on what the Lakers might pursue. These aren't slam-dunk solutions. Each comes with strings. Attached attainability varying widely, injury concerns looming. A fit within the Lakers' evolving rotation a question mark. Rob Williams, for example, shines when healthy with shot blocking and an elite lob threat. Yet he's a red flag because he rarely sees 33 to 30 for games a season. A tough gamble even with Ayton as the new baseline. Nick Richards stands out among the pack as my favorite trade target, likely expendable in Phoenix now that they've added Cayman Maladone. And Mark Williams, attainable, possibly just Shake Milton's contract plus a second-rounder. What does Richards bring? Rugged rebounding and rim defense, fundamental yet reliable. Not a star, not flashy, but solid and available, a perfect glue guy on their front court. Then there's Ime Bekwai, a more speculative long-term project, probably too costly given the Lakers' new reality, especially after using a combination of youth and the recent Derek Queen draft pick. Kevon Looney signing further complicates that list, pushing some options down the priority ladder. Over in Orlando, the Magic's front court is a muscle of uncertainty. Would they move Wendell Carter Jr. or Goga Bitadze? Bitadze, the more durable and arguably better defender and rim protector of the two, could pique the Lakers' interest. No reliable three-point shot, but the kind of dependable presence you want safeguarding the paint behind Ayton. Would it cost D'Angelo Russell? Not likely. More likely future first-round draft swaps, second-round picks, and salary fillers, a trade that could make sense if the Lakers want safe, affordable depth rather than desperation. Yet there's one name that I haven't heard tossed around nearly enough, but would actually intrigue me: Jalen Smith from the Chicago Bulls. At just 25, Smith brings a combination of rim protection and three-point shooting, ticking boxes Ayton's traditional game doesn't cover entirely. He's durable, young, and would fit Lakers basketball's evolving mold. Imagine adding that kind of athleticism and spacing without losing key pieces like D'Angelo Russell or Austin Reeves, a trade involving expiring contracts like Gabe Vincent or Maxi Kleber, and maybe a protected second-rounder or a future first-round swap. It's speculative, sure, but it feels smart and targeted among free agents. Horford ranks first, with Butler as a distant second. Trade targets: Bitadze or Smith rise near the top, followed by Richards, with Ime Williams trailing, mainly due to cost or durability concerns. What does all this mean? It means the narrative has shifted dramatically overnight. The Lakers are no longer scrambling, clutching at straws for a starting center like the desperation that once gripped them over Kessler, Claxton, or Gafford. They have Ayton now, a starting big with bona fide NBA starting center chops. They don't need to burn the entire farm on one player. They can aim for the backup piece, a puzzle piece that supports, complements, and most importantly, stays available to take the floor when called upon. This newfound positional stability opens a door for smarter, more calculated moves. Moves that don't demand overpaying on mediocre talent or mortgaging their future. In essence, the Lakers are playing from strength, a position no one expected just 12 to 24 hours ago. And yet, while this sounds promising, the stakes couldn't be higher. Every decision made now echoes the fragility of this team's window, the uncertain health of stars like LeBron and AD, the thin margin for error in a fiercely competitive Western Conference, and the weight of a fanbase hungry for anything resembling championship glory. Ayton's durability himself is a question mark, averaging around 58 games a season, reminding us that no center is a guarantee. Who else can the Lakers trust to hold the fort? Can Horford, even at 39, still be the steady veteran presence when the minutes matter most? Will they take the risk on lesser-known names, hoping for a miracle chip someone to unlock a deep playoff run, or is this a prelude to more wrenching trade talks, more uncertainty, more what if? How will the front office balance patience with urgency in a league where windows slam shut faster than a heartbeat? As a lifelong Lakers fan who swallowed bitter losses and tasted the sweet nectar of championships, I can't help but feel the tension tighten tonight. This roster is fragile but charged, calculated but vulnerable. All right, listen up, Lakers Nation. This isn't some passive halftime chat. This is a call to wake the hell up because what we're staring at feels like the heaviest, most pivotal crossroads in recent Lakers memory. And if you don't feel that pulse racing through your veins right now, then you're not paying attention. Adri Ayton's arrival is a lightning bolt that just electrified the entire roster, the front office chessboard, and every last fan in the purple and gold stands. But the truth? This is anything but straightforward. You can already feel it. A storm brewing right beneath the surface, where championship dreams collide with legacy, heartbreak, and a damn near impossible balancing act. LeBron James, the man, the legend, he's 5 years past 35 now. And while his highlight reels still spark joy, every minute on that court is a ticking clock on the greatest career any of us have ever witnessed. His legacy isn't just about the titles or the stats, it's about how this story ends. Will it be a fairy tale capped off by a Lakers ring, a coronation in the city of stars? Or does this chapter conclude in frustration and what could have been regret? Because we're not just watching a roster build. We're watching the slow-motion collapse or stunning resurrection of LeBron's last great stand-in. It's not just LeBron Anthony Davis, the mercurial and merciless wonderkind who carries the weight of every injury text we dread, who is still the most formidable force this franchise boasts inside the paint. But AD's body has been tested, broken down, rebuilt, haunted by whispers of fragility that echo louder with every missed game. Can this frontcourt duo Ayton and Davis hold together in a world where toughness defines playoff survival? Can they endure the relentless grind that demanding title runs require? Because here's the cold, unforgiving truth: if either reads injured on the lineup card in playoff season, the Lakers' chances dim like a candle flickering against a storm. And then there's the heart and soul of this team's future evolution, Austin Reaves, the gritty underdog turned cherished fan favorite, the kid whose hustle and courage have won over arenas and hearts alike. Reaves represents resilience, the kind of basketball grit that defines Lakers' DNA, Showtime speed mixed with a scrappy, relentless spirit. But where does he fit into this new puzzle, with Ayton's thunderous presence bucking the front court and D'Angelo Russell still holding the guard position hostage with his ball-handling wizardry? The internal battle for minutes is going to intensify, and roster chemistry, already as fragile as the city's after-hours neon glow, will be tested mercilessly. You want soul? You want grit? The Lakers have plenty of that, but can they convert it into rock-solid, consistent play that withstands the madness of an unforgiving Western Conference? Speaking of madness, take a second to think about the front office, the elephants in the room. Jeannie Buss remains the steely matriarch who's guided this ship through storms and tempests, balancing tradition, emotion, and business with a careful, sometimes controversial hand. But what if the narrative flips here too? What if the whispers of a billionaire investor knocking on the Staples Center's door upend the balance of power? We've seen franchises transformed overnight with deep pockets and ruthless ambition enter the frame. Looking at you, Phoenix, shaken and reborn under lustrous new ownership models. Jeannie's basketball heart beats fiercely. But in this era of billion-dollar deals and global sports empires, could the Lakers' soul be threatened or saved by an injection of capital that demands control, changes visions, reshuffles loyalties? This isn't just rhetoric. It's the very real pulse of the NBA, a league where dynasty or despair can hinge on a handshake or a contract signature ink behind polished doors. History reminds us what's at stake. Remember the glory days of the 1980s Showtime Lakers magics, show-stopping passes and Worthy's relentless hustling, a team that danced through adversity with swagger and camaraderie. Then fast forward to the 2000s, and the three-peat run under Kobe and Shaq that dazzled the world, but was also riddled with backstage joring and drama that almost tore that dynasty apart. Or the 2010 revenge years, how the Lakers clawed back from scandal, free agency misses, and roster turmoil to reclaim their rightful spot atop the NBA summit. The fierce determination of Pau Gasol's patient dominance, paired with Kobe Bryant's last stand genius. And then, as if fate loves to tease us, the 2020 bubble banner of bizarre, faceless championship forged in a pandemic nightmare, with LeBron and AD culminating their titanic partnership under surreal circumstances. That title was a beacon, yes, but also a reminder of the fragility surrounding this franchise, a fragile bubble that popped quickly, as the years since have brought more questions than answers. Now, in 2024, we're circling back to those agonizing crossroads, a team rebuilding its magic, yet haunted by the ghosts of that post-title decline, a swirling vortex of injury and fading youthfulness. But what does all this mean for the West? Because while the Lakers wage their quiet, intense battle behind the scenes, the conference looms like a battlefield primed for blood and glory. The Warriors, still clutching onto their dynasty's legacy, are circling, looking to exploit every Lakers stumble while adding youth and firepower. Steph and Clay might be aging, but Draymond's shark-like anticipation and the emergence of Jordan Poole give Golden State a dangerous edge. What about Denver? Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic remain a tormenting giant, a giant that can dance and assassinate with precision, ready to strike fear into any opponent's soft underbelly. Phoenix, now shocked from Ayton's departure, is redefining their approach, while the Clippers, fueled by playoff vengeance and a deep roster, are lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce at the faintest sign of Lakers' weakness. The West's brutal dance is set, and the Lakers' moves around Ayton's signing aren't isolated acts. They ripple across every team's calculus. What if, just what if, this new Lakers frontcourt and shrewd asset realignment become the catalyst that shatters Golden State's hold, that forces Denver to rethink their offense, that makes Phoenix scramble for answers? Now imagine if the backup center hunt fails, that Horford, Boucher, or any trade target doesn't pan out, and the Lakers' depth collapses at the worst possible moment. Imagine the nightmare of Adri playing with a soft injury and no reliable backup, turning the playoffs into a desperate scramble with an exhausted Davis and a worn LeBron. Can the Lakers afford to roll those dice? Can the front office stomach that kind of risk when the margin for error is so razor thin? It could cut through the very fabric of this franchise's championship hopes. Picture the tension in the locker room, the pressure boiling under the surface during those silent moments between quarters, when the scoreboard doesn't lie, but the resolve of this team will. Think about the strength of team identity. Will they embrace Ayton's physicality and veteran role players like Horford, or will they fall back on their traditional guard-heavy, fast break-centric ethos? This isn't just basketball, it's theology, philosophy, a doctrine of what purple and gold means in a world demanding constant evolution. The Lakers are a family, but sometimes a family driven by expectation turns bitter when plans go awry. What about Bronny? The ultimate question burning in every Lakers' heart: how will LeBron's legacy influence and intertwine with his son's burgeoning career? Will the arrival of Ayton and these new pieces provide Bronny with a blueprint for greatness, a foundation to grow into his own star in the franchise's lore? Or will Bronny's path be mired in the same frustrations that have gnawed at Lakers fans for years? Injuries, trade rumors, and the endless pressure to live up to a legacy carved by giants? The stakes are cosmic, connecting past to future in a tangled web of hopes and fears, where every move feels chess-like, yet brutal, like street ball fought out in the relentless urban gyms of LA nights. The fear isn't just of failure, it's of lost time, the merciless tick of a clock that neither loyalty nor talent can halt. And make no mistake, this moment, this quiet signing of Ayton, this chance to rebuild from the front court out, it may define this generation's Lakers narrative more than any trailer, trade deadline, or postseason run has before. It's raw, it's beautiful, it's terrifying. There's no comfort in certainty anymore. But what if the front office pulls off a masterstroke here? What if these quietly calculated moves, these subtle chess plays, launch the Lakers into a brand new chapter of dominance, where old warriors like LeBron and Horford mix seamlessly with youthful fire and physical dominance? Could this be the blueprint that finally upends the West's throne, reminding the league that purple and gold still command fear and respect? Or are we merely watching the calm before another storm and eerie silence before chaos crashes down in waves of injuries, failed trades, and heartbreaking exits? No one knows yet, but one thing I do know, as a Laker till the day I die, here's what I see coming. This franchise, nestled between heartbreaks and championships, is on the cusp of a story that will define not just a season, but the soul of the purple and gold for years to come. The choices made this very minute about a center, a backup, a contract will echo in the corridors of Lakers history alongside Magic, Kobe, Shaq, and LeBron's own indelible mark. They will be remembered, not just as transactions, but as the moments when hope either soared or crumbled.